So
Is it on?
it's on. Testing 1, 2, 3.
I'm Ken Archer. This is my daughter Kelly.
Hi there. We're back again, and let's talk about the date. We did a little driving tour, so we're going to implement that in the video. A little inspection of the CBS and Channel 9 transmitter sites today. It's April
We tried to
2017.
stop by Channel 5, but the guy wasn't there. But
Yeah.
we'll do that later.
Yeah, but here we are. We're stopped at the bottom of the Mount Wilson
Red Box restaurant.
Well, we decided to stop so we could just kind of have a little chat. One of the stories that you told, and I had you do kind of like a video tour, but one of the stories that you were telling, the engineer up there was something that, when you were an engineer, a young engineer working for Channel 9,
Around where Noah's Ark.
around the okay, Dad. No, but you said that Mom had come up and brought.
I don't say how old we are, but our social security number is 2.
All right, Dad.
All right, yeah. Back to business.
Back to business. All right.
Coming up here about first trip was 1959, and then about 1960, maybe before the Thanksgiving of 1960, my wife and I came up here, and she fixed us Thanksgiving dinner for myself, the engineer, also the other side, the engineer, and 2 of the kids.
So it must have been Brad and Buck.
And we came up here and had a great time because it's an 8-hour day, 6-hour shift, and we cooked the turkey before and we brought it up here, reheated it and so forth. And it was just a great time.
But so Mount Wilson's like I had somebody ask me, actually my son-in-law asked me this morning, it's like, where's Mount Wilson? It's like I don't know, in the business, especially in Los Angeles, you kind of like, you think everybody knows where Mount Wilson is. But even a couple weeks ago, we were down in San Diego at a television station, and I said something about we're going up to Mount Wilson, and Dave, what's Mount Wilson? Well, Mount Wilson is
mountaintop location in the
Angeles Forest,
and it's where all the TV transmitters and the FM transmitters and many communications transmitters are located, because the TV and FM is line of sight. So the higher up you can go, like the Empire State Building or Mount Wilson, that's the East Coast version is Empire State Building. We're the West Coast version, Mount Wilson. The nice thing about Mount Wilson is it's owned privately, or it can be leased through the
Bureau of Land Management or the Forestry Service or something. Yeah.
And so we are at Red Box, which is kind of like the little way station that's just
at the base of Mount Wilson, basically. Yeah.
So we're gonna have 8 miles, and you go up there, and you'll be up at Mount Wilson then. Yeah, the first time I came up here was in springtime of 1959. You can imagine how long ago that was. Anyway, Mount Wilson was the location for the TV stations and the FM stations, and a lot of the government licenses for, FCC, FBI and stuff like that. But anyways, all up here in Mount Wilson. It's just a great location to serve Los Angeles.
So this is, we're looking at down on Los Angeles right now?
Yes.
Okay, so this is our own personal Mount Wilson cam.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So what is this hill over here with these?
Well, that's another.
Show the camera. Yeah. Well, you're a cameraman. Show what we're looking at.
There it is. This is another location for a couple of the TV stations that couldn't locate up in Mount Wilson. So they located over there. They have very good coverage and so forth, and they shoot from there all the way to Catalina Island. It's just phenomenal coverage for Los Angeles. And then over here, we're going to...
You got to point this out. Remember, this is a camera, Dad.
We're going to get to these towers, and so we're going to turn left, Kelly, here.
Turn left right here?
Yeah, this is going to be Channel 11, and the Los Angeles College, Los Angeles School System, LCS, wherever it is. That's where they're located. This is Mount Wilson locations for other FM stations, transmitters are all in this building. And yes, we've been coming up here for years and years and know quite well who they are. But they never trusted us with a key.
I want you to get the sign that this is called Video Road. Here, I'll take this. Okay. All right, so the street is called, you can see the sign, Video Road.
Yeah, there's Audio Road and Video Road.
Audio Road and Video Road.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is for the television side of it.
All right, there you go.
And of course, when it snows up here, it snows. And sometimes the guys still to the 2017, they get snowed in.
Yeah, I like this site right here. Seeing out the car. This is just we're just doing a driving tour of Mount Wilson as Dad can tell his stories, right, Dad?
Yeah.
Might as well do it this way. So as of today, this is what, April 17th, 2017.
Right.
And you've been coming up here, like you said, since the spring
58 years.
of 1959. So for 58 years, you've been one of the engineers that would come up here and maintain stations. Now you do FCC compliance.
Right. They still haven't given us a key.
Yeah, I still haven't given us a key.
Yeah, now the park rangers are up here in this area. Streets, they got people coming and going all the time.
Well, you were telling the story about how you got stuck in the snow up here with Grandpa. I'd never heard that story before.
My dad wanted to know what I did. In 1960, my dad always wanted to know, well, what do you do, son? Well, I'm engineer up at Mount Wilson, and so Dad came with me. So we come up here to Mount Wilson, and lo and behold, we get into a storm up here, snowstorm, and we had to spend the night. So the KHJ had facilities where we had a bed and stuff like that, kitchen, bath, and stuff like that. So we spent the night. But of course, that's originally how the stations were built. Was that there was engineers up here.
There was
housing for them.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's probably about 100 stations up here, FM and TV. Mm-hmm. And we've been up here
For a while there, it was like home away from home. It's like another trip to Mount Wilson, trying to get all the transmitter site inspections scheduled at the same time.
Because the transmitter sites are up here at Mount Wilson. The studio and offices are down in the Los Angeles Basin.
All over the place.
Boulevard and the fancy places and so forth and so on.
Right.
So all the coverage of Channel 9 and Channel 2 is in that.
Well, just any broadcaster that's up here.
Right.
FM and television.
And that's why they're all up here.
Yeah. And how many would you say transmitter broadcast facilities are located up here on Mount Wilson?
I would say close to 100.
That's what I would say. Close to 100 FM and television stations that broadcast to the general Los Angeles area. There we go.
Now this
Okay, you have to take it back. I can't do this and drive.
around here now, this is the original CBS building. Your part stop going.
Okay. Let me get beyond these trees.
Okay. This is the original CBS Channel 2 tower, which they moved then into the building that we were just at, visiting with them several years ago. But there's 160 some acres up there that's owned by CBS, and it's sold to a tower company. And it's just a great facility, and they're one of the few that own lots of property up here, acreage and so forth. I guess I'm stuck in the middle of your mirror here.
Okay. All right.
And that's about it. Been over there several times. I remember, this is the gate.
I love how you're making me do the video while I drive, Dad.
So,
Wait, okay. Yes, I remember this gate right here.
right.
Yeah.
And they didn't have a sign on the gate as to who it belonged to. And the guy went out there with a little diamond lightning gun.
Said CBS.
CBS, and of course it wasn't right.
Right.
So forth. But there's a lot of follow-through that needs to be done.
So,
just like whenever they even climb the tower, they have to keep notes.
Yeah.
And the documentation, somebody has to sign off, they get certificates and so forth.
Right.
There's more complex than, hey, he's just building a radio station or a TV station.
Yeah.
More
So over and out, are we headed home?
We're headed towards lunchtime.
We're headed towards lunchtime. All right. More stuff to come, right? Say
Right.
bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mount Wilson.
Not to be confused with Lake Arrowhead.
Mount Wilson is almost like at the top of the hill,
Yeah.
and therefore it's line of sight. So that means from the transmitter site, looking down, you can see all of the area. That's the coverage that you have then.
Well, anything else you want to share?
No, Kelly, that was about it.
That's the whole Mount Wilson tour.
That's it.
Okay, well, we have some good pictures.
These people don't want to see transmitters. They don't want to see logs. They don't want to see parts.
Anyway, all right, we'll say over and out. Say bye. We're off to lunch now.